We're now with the Parks Department, and we're joined by Councilman Bedney and Councilman Stein. And Tommy, if you could introduce yourself, your colleagues, and then tell us how your year's been and tell us your budget proposal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hino, Mr. Riebling. Up with me at the table is Ivanetta Davis-Samuels, who's the chairperson of our board, Tim Naich, who is our park planner, and Monique Odom, who's our finance person. In the audience with us are other board members, Charles McTorrey, George Anderson, and staff members here today are Paul Woodman with Recreation, Mike Bays with Maintenance, Jackie Jones, our public information person, Shane Dennison, our open space and greenway czar, and did I see Bob there? Zarina, Jim Hester, and Chris Taylor in charge of our park police. Thank you for having us here today. We have had many accomplishments during the past year. One of the most significant is the work being done to combat youth and adult obesity in our work in cooperation with Vanderbilt University Pediatrics and the rest of the Nashville Collaborative has expanded from initially being just at Coleman Community Center to now we're at East Park Community Center as well as Hadley Community Center. This is a great program that when you combine it with the NASA program that comes through your office with after school program, that we've been a significant partner in our efforts to provide youth services. And we are working with your staff to expand the NASA program wherever possible. As you know, we partner with many groups in providing services to our seniors and our youth, and it's impossible to acknowledge all of them in the time allotted. However, let's start with the YMCA and the mayor's office. And the sponsors, where we had the mayor's 5K this year, and over 5,000 people trained for and completed that activity utilizing many of our sites for training. We're presently getting our staff ready for the field day to be done May 5th at LP Field. The activity at the E.S. Rose Athletic Complex has increased the past year due to the public-private partnership between the city and Belmont University. And even more significantly about that partnership is the work done within the partnership to include the community that had been opposed to its implementation. It works. The continual implementation of the Parks and Greenway Master Plan is moving forward with the funding of the first phase of the Shelby Park Master Plan and the Centennial Park Master Plan. This initiative is being further aided by the acceptance and implementation of the Open Space Plan. The administration, council, and the park board have added over 315 acres to park property within the past year due to purchases and acquisitions made through the Open Space Plan with our partners, Land Trust of Tennessee, spearheaded by Shane Dennison of our staff and Jim Fike of Mr. Riebling's staff. Additionally, the flood site reuse coordinated with the efforts of Metro Water Services has added over 174 acres of flood property for passive recreational usage with the help of the Sheriff's Department as well as volunteers from the Make a Smile Foundation and Hands on Nashville. We continue to work with our other friends groups, such as the Friends of Warner Park, Friends of Shelby Park, the Conservancy of Centennial Park, Friends of Two Rivers Mansion, and Greenways for Nashville. You know, they say a great city has a great park system, and we must be a great city. I know the administration believes in providing funding for parks and open spaces. We add to the quality of life, parks add to property values, parks improve public health, parks improve youth safety, and parks protect the natural resources. One of the things we've significantly improved is our customer service by centralizing our high-demand permits through the use of a reservation center. In addition, we are communicating with our customers in a much more effective manner through the use of social media. In our quest to provide better service to the community, I've taken the attitude that you always do, if you always do what you always done, you always get what you've always got. We realize that sometimes change comes from within, so we are making a concerted effort to increase partnerships and collaborative efforts. Using this as the cornerstone to what I personally wish to add to the department, we've created 3 significant work teams within the department to look at the big picture issues for the department in the areas of policy, communications, and best practices. These 3 committees will be working with the board and should have a significant impact on the products and services we offer our customers. For instance, we are surveying parks departments in similar sized cities to determine if there are things we can do better, differently, or more effectively. The emphasis is on customer service and providing better opportunities for individual pursuits. In the past year, we opened McCabe Community Center with a resounding success. The new driving range just opened last week at the golf course, and with this amenity, it will make McCabe Golf Course the most successful course in the city. The Richland Creek Greenway has almost been totally connected to encircle the entire park. And along with the Little League playing there, I cannot think of a better place for a healthy, active family fun, unless, of course, you think about East Park or Coleman Park or Hartman Park. Cumberland Park will be dedicated and opening soon. The addition of this dynamic, active park with its innovative water and play features as well as its outdoor music venue being added to the Sounds of Music City will further reinvigorate the east bank of the river and add to the viewshed from the skyline of our great city. Greenway connections and extensions are in progress across the county at Mill Creek and at Harpeth River. Design activities are in progress for the Whites Creek Greenway and the Gulch. We've completed the extension on the Cumberland River Greenway from Metro Center to TSU. We've completed the design phase of the new Sevier Park Community Center and are preparing to acquire a contractor. Paradise Ridge Park is presently under construction, which will provide open space, playgrounds, trails, and community space for the Joelton area. Mountain bike trails are being designed and will begin construction at Cane Ridge, Warner Park, Bells Bend Park to add to the existing trails at Hamilton Creek. We intend to continue to look for sites across the county for acquisition and expansion of our system, particularly in the southeast section. Our goal is to provide opportunities to all of our residents and visitors, and we intend to do so safely with the oversight provided by our employees, which includes our park police, a well-trained and responsive force under the leadership provided through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department. Additionally, 2013 is a milestone year for our city and our department. First, you have the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the metropolitan government. You have the 100th anniversary of the establishment of Hadley Park and the 100th anniversary of the development of Shelby Park. Good people make up the greatest number of the employees working in our department. We have a diverse workforce, but most importantly, we have a dedicated workforce. The one aspect that resonates through our entire department is that we have people working in the exact field they chose, whether the job is located at a community center, a golf course, or maintaining the fields that sports are played on. Park employees are the backbone of the department. The maintenance employees are the foundation for all we do. If you go back to prior to the implementation of the Parks and Greenways Master Plan, we had full-time equivalency of 544 employees. When you look at this year's budget, we'll have a full-time equivalency of 538.5 employees. With that, we've not only not closed facilities, we've opened more facilities, added more parks, and added more amenities. Our limits have been stretched, and like all departments, we're expected to do more with less. We will continue to do so. Our greatest and most pressing need for resources is to take care of what we got, as well as reaching areas we underserve presently. Thank you for your time, and we're prepared to answer any of your questions.
Thank you. In terms of your budget request, there's an improvement here. What does that involve?
Well, we have a couple of improvements that we've asked for. One, because of the extension of the amount of property that we're having to take care of, we're looking at requesting to add more maintenance folks with proper equipment to take care of the acreage, as I'd mentioned, the number of acres that we've added. Landscaping is, we've been working in conjunction with Public Works and following the directive of the mayor. We have had discussions with Public Works, but we were asking for our landscaping crew to be added on because of the additional responsibilities in that area. The Sevier Park Community Center, we expect to be opening by the 1st of July next year, but we would like to have the staff on board, ready to go midsummer, because in the summertime, obviously, every other employee in the community centers is obligated to our summer enrichment program, and trying to open a center without any bodies would be extremely tough. A couple of the others are like the McCabe Golf Course Driving Range and the McCabe Community Center are more related to this getting partial funding this year for those projects as they opened up in mid-year, and that would give them the full year of funding. And then community centers. We're basically asking for more equipment to operate the summer program. One of the, as I told you, we haven't closed any facilities. But we've been making economic decisions inside the department that restrict us. As I made my request to Mr. Reeve, my request was that you change the fiscal year to go to October 1st to September 30th, because June 30th at the end of the fiscal year is the busiest day of our calendar year. And the summertime, as the economy has gone downward, which we see optimistic about it coming upward, though, we are getting more attendance at our community centers and at our free programs, and we would like to get more of a subsidy for that area. Another one was for our park police. The park police are being expected to go through the same training as the Metro Police, and it's being held to the same standards, and their pay is significantly less than the Metro Police. And so it was an effort to ask that the park police be paid accordingly.
Okay. We also have the capital budget,
Yes, sir.
and there are several items, I guess, that have already been funded that you're working on now.
Can we talk about a couple of those for a minute? So one of the things that I think we're really excited about is what's going on in the southeast part of town, where I know you have increasing demand for park activities and what we're trying to do at Hickory Hollow. Can you talk a little bit about the programming at Hickory Hollow and how unique that is and kind of how you see that?
The program at Hickory Hollow, when you combine with Nashville State going out there and as well as the library system, we've already had several meetings with all three groups to kind of get together so that it becomes more of a campus engulfing the community center,
right,
the school, and the library, so that the students there can have time from a phys ed standpoint or an intramural standpoint and utilize the regional center, as well as the general community that lives in the area where we don't have a regional center. So it's sort of going to be a super center from our standpoint, that will have the general public coming in, the seniors, the kids,
right,
and then we'll have the adults that are at Nashville State coming in and utilizing the facility as well. So we're relatively confident that It's going to be a success from the day we open.
That whole campus atmosphere is pretty exciting to think about.
It is.
And then I know we're looking for some additional park space out in that part of town too, right? On an active basis?
We have been, Shane and Tim and I have been personally driving the area. We've, as you well know, there was one piece of property we were trying to acquire that now in actuality is going to become a business, paying taxes and hopefully adding to the community as well. We fully expected to have a wonderful park out there with 144 acres, but we've visited at least 3 different areas. We've talked to a couple of the council members in that area about particular spots that would make good sense for parks, and that there could be some connectivity with the bike system or a grant system.
All right.
And then are there additional capital requests beyond those that
Going forward.
going forward?
Well, yes, sir. We, one of the actual most important requests comes in the deferred maintenance area. When we walked in and you and I talked about tennis activity, one of the things that has not had enough attention over the past 10 to 12 years has been the tennis courts across the county, the parking lots, the air conditioning systems, and the roofs of community centers, golf courses, and several buildings that are now in desperate need. And all of these are items that would have been funded under the master plan at some point in time, but have, because of the tight budget situation, have had to been set aside as far as a priority, but now their priority is rising to the top. It's park roads. As we walked the 100 miles and you walked on some of the park roads like at Cane Ridge, even though it's a relatively new park, the walking track there is in need of repair. The roadway system in Warner Park, the parking lot at Centennial Sportsplex, I mean, I can go on and on. The tennis courts throughout the county need to be addressed and need to be repaired.
Tommy, talk a little bit, or Tim, about two of our anchor parks, if you will. Maybe that's not the right term. Centennial and Shelby have both gone through this really great master planning process, and now it's kind of time to embark. So talk a little bit about both of those, because those both have capital requests going forward with phase 1 of the master plan implementation.
I'll start with Shelby Park. Design of phase 1 is complete, and actually this morning we had a pre-bid meeting for award of a construction contract.
Tell us what phase 1 there looks like.
Phase 1 will be in the area, if you're familiar with it, where the softball quad was. That's being demolished currently. So that's the project area. It will include a new 5-acre special events field that will be a new venue for large concerts, festivals, fairs, things like that. A new parking lot utilizing pervious materials. Much of the work associated with the development of a second young adult and adult baseball field. It will also include the daylighting of the waterway that drains Lake Sevier. Currently, Lake Sevier is, the overflow is piped directly into the Cumberland River. We're creating a new waterway to deal with stormwater improvements there. That project is scheduled to be completed in September, and Friends of Shelby Park has been working very hard on planning for a big centennial anniversary event there in October. So I think it's going to be looking good by then. We've also been working closely with the Metro Arts Commission, and a piece of public art has been selected for that site.
Cool.
At Centennial Park, that's going to be a major partnership with Metro Water Services and the Conservancy. So we've been having lots of communication with them about the development of the scope of work for phase 1. Right. And our intent is to have an RFQ for design ready to go this summer in July. We've made a recommendation that funding be allocated for that purpose. So pending that funding, we'd be ready to go. And that will be the zone basically along the west end frontage, and includes the daylighting of Cockrell Spring and other really wonderful landscape improvements that are going to make I think, build a lot of momentum for future phases of development in Centennial Park.
Okay. Rich, you have any?
No, I'm fine.
Anything
Nothing else.
All right, well, thank you very much, as they say, and thank you for, first of all, thank you for all your help on the walks and the runs and the
Field day.
field day. And field day is May 5th, LP Field, everybody's invited, former team. That should be a great event, and that will be actually on the field where the Titans play, and the park, the water park will be open that day. The opening would have occurred by then, and so families coming down to field day can take advantage of that too. So it should be a wonderful experience. And just thanks for your great work. I think the parks are on the right track. You know, it's obviously a very important part of what makes the city such a great place to live, and we appreciate that. And thanks to the board members for your service. We appreciate all your hard work, your volunteer time for the city, and we'll do the best we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.